8 things are happening to your F-150 right now. Not someday, not eventually. Right now on every drive. And does even one of them belong on your maintenance checklist? They should. Because I went through the failure data on the F-150 specifically and found that the most expensive repairs on these trucks are not random bad luck. They are predictable outcomes of 8 specific things owners do without realizing what they are doing to their truck. Some of these are settings Ford put in your truck by default. Some are maintenance intervals Ford printed in your owner's manual, and some are habits that feel completely normal until the repair bill shows up. Each one has a documented dollar amount. None of them requires a single tool to fix. Let's get into it. Never do this. Run Eco Mode under load. Ford built Eco Mode for fleet vehicles, rental trucks, company cars, whose job is to return the best possible EPA fuel economy number. When you drive in Eco Mode, your transmission upshifts earlier than your load demands. Here is where it gets interesting. Empty bed on flat highway, fine. The moment you carry real weight, hit a grade, or ask your truck to do actual work, Eco Mode becomes a transmission problem. Your transmission is already in too high a gear, so it hunts, cycling between 8th, 9th, 10th, trying to find a ratio that works. Every cycle is a clutch engagement event at pressure below what the load demands. Soft engagement means slippage. Slippage means heat. Heat means wear. Your transmission was not built to absorb at that rate. The fix: one button. Tow/haul under any real load. What it prevents is the accumulation of clutch wear that shows up as a $5,500 rebuild between 60,000 and 120,000 miles. Never do this. Leave auto start-stop enabled. Every time your F-150 shuts off at a red light and restarts, that is one torque converter clutch engagement. 40 stops on your commute is 40 events. 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, roughly 10,000 unnecessary engagement cycles annually that were never in your transmission's designed wear budget. Each engagement deposits friction material debris into your transmission fluid. That debris circulates through your valve body and solenoids. Auto start-stop was built to inflate EPA numbers. It was not built around what 10,000 annual converter cycles does to your clutch life over 100,000 miles. The fix: press the button on your console every start. It resets each ignition cycle because Ford defaulted it for fleet vehicles. If you want it permanently off, ForScan locks it in 5 minutes with a $35 adapter. Never do this. Follow Ford's transmission fluid interval. Ford's owner's manual says lifetime fill under normal conditions for your 10-speed. That interval was written for EPA fuel economy testing purposes. It was not written around what your transmission needs to survive 150,000 miles of real use. And it gets worse. A Ford technician documented his personal recommendation: 60,000 miles, not 150,000. Rebuild shops recommend 25,000 to 30,000 miles. The sequence is documented. Metallic particles from clutch wear accumulate in your fluid, circulate through your valve body passages, solenoids start to stick, line pressure falls, clutch packs engage softer, soft engagement generates heat, heat degrades fluid faster. The cycle accelerates invisibly until the day something you feel from the driver's seat tells you it is already too late. Fluid and filter service on your 10R80, $200 to $350. Transmission rebuild, $5,500. Ford's interval saves you $200 and costs you the ability to prevent $5,500. That math is not close. Never do this. Tow without tow/haul on every real load. Most owners treat tow/haul as a heavy trailer-only setting. It is not. It is a load management setting. And the data on what it does to your transmission temperature is the kind of thing you cannot argue with. Stay with me, because this number changes how you drive for the rest of the time you own this truck. The documented fluid temperature difference between tow/haul engaged and tow/haul off under matched load conditions at matched speed runs 15 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Your 10R80's thermal bypass valve opens at 190 degrees. Before that, your external cooler is doing nothing. Your fluid's additive package begins accelerating its breakdown at 215 degrees. That 15 to 25 degree difference is the gap between your transmission running in the safe zone and running in the degradation zone. And it applies anytime your truck is carrying a loaded bed, running a grade, or working in stop and go with weight on board. Not just when you are pulling a trailer. Every real load, every time. Press the button before you load the truck. Not after you notice the temperature climbing. Never do this. Shut your EcoBoost off immediately after a hard pull. This one applies specifically to your EcoBoost, 3.5 liter or 2.7 liter, and most EcoBoost owners have never heard of it. Your turbochargers run at extreme heat under load. The bearings inside each turbo are lubricated and cooled by engine oil flowing continuously while running. When you shut the engine off, that oil flow stops. The residual heat transfers into the bearing oil sitting inside the housing. If that heat is high enough, the oil cooks, carbonizes. It becomes hard carbon deposits that restrict your turbo bearing oil passages. This is where most people get it completely wrong. They pull a long grade or run hard in summer heat, reach their destination, and shut off immediately. Every time they do, the turbo housing is cooking oil that was supposed to protect those bearings. Over miles, that buildup restricts flow and accelerates bearing wear. A single turbo on your EcoBoost runs $2,200 to $3,000. Both sides, up to $5,500. The fix: 2 to 3 minutes of easy idling after any hard pull. Let the oil keep flowing until the housing cools. 2 minutes versus $5,500 is not a difficult calculation. Never do this. Dismiss your cold start rattle. If your F-150 makes a rattle or a brief clatter for a few seconds on cold start, and then it goes away when the engine warms up, your engine is telling you something specific. It is not normal. It is not just what these trucks do. It is a warning shot that separates owners who pay $200 from owners who pay $6,000. Your VCT oil control solenoids degrade before your cam phasers do. When a solenoid starts failing, it cannot maintain proper oil pressure to your cam phaser system at startup. Oil drains out of the phasers after the engine shuts down. The solenoid cannot pump pressure back fast enough on cold start. The phaser sits unlocked for 2 to 5 seconds, and your timing chain rattles against components it is not supposed to contact under uncontrolled tension. A VCT solenoid on your 5.0 or 3.5 EcoBoost runs $150 to $300 parts and labor. A full cam phaser replacement, pulling your timing cover, 11 hours of labor, runs $4,500 to $6,000. Same cold start rattle. Completely different bills depending on which one you chase first. Have your VCT solenoids checked before authorizing anything else. The shop that skips the solenoid and goes straight to the phaser diagnosis is spending your money on the expensive answer before confirming the cheap one does not apply. Never do this. Read your towing capacity instead of your payload. Your F-150 has 2 numbers. Most owners know the towing capacity. Most owners have never looked at the payload sticker, the yellow label inside your driver's door jamb listing the specific maximum payload for your exact configuration. A fully loaded F-150 with 4 adults, full fuel, tools in the bed, and a half-ton of material can exceed payload capacity without touching a trailer at all. Exceeding your payload stresses your frame, collapses your suspension geometry, overloads your brakes, and causes premature axle and wheel bearing wear. In many states, it also voids your liability coverage in an accident, meaning that overloaded job site truck becomes your personal financial exposure. Open your driver's door, find the yellow sticker, know that number. It applies every loaded drive. Never do this. Trust Ford's Oil Life Monitor on a turbo engine. Ford's Intelligent Oil Life Monitor recommends 7,500 to 10,000 miles under normal driving. For your turbocharged F-150, that interval is too long. Your EcoBoost's turbochargers generate enormous heat under boost. That heat transfers into your oil. Your oil also lubricates the cam phaser system and VCT solenoids, hydraulic components that depend on clean oil at the right viscosity to function. The experience of EcoBoost owners who have run these engines to high mileage is consistent, 5,000 miles maximum with full synthetic. Working trucks, 3,000 to 4,000 miles. But don't stop there, because the interval is only half the answer. Your EcoBoost requires full synthetic meeting Ford's WSS-M2C946-B1 specification. Using a conventional oil or non-qualifying synthetic on the extended monitor interval is the fastest path to premature VCT solenoid clogging, cam phaser wear, and timing chain stretch. 5,000 miles, full synthetic to spec. That single discipline separates the EcoBoosts that make 200,000 miles from the ones that need cam phaser jobs before 100,000. Your F-150 is a strong truck. It degrades in very specific ways when very specific things are done to it. You now know 8 of them, and none of them requires a single tool to fix. The owners running 200,000 miles on their F-150s without major surgery are not lucky. They are running their trucks differently than the owners who are not. Now you know exactly how. If you want to go deeper on the transmission fluid and adaptive learning sequence that separates the 10R80s that survive from the ones that do not, that 4-scan walkthrough is on this channel. Go watch that one next. Your transmission will thank you for both.